Welcome back to another video. We are going back to some opal. I just finished cutting this one. Should have done a video on it, but I decided that this one needs to be paired with some turquoise. And I have 4 pieces of turquoise right here that we're going to try. Now, 2 of these are backed. 2 of them are thick enough they don't need to be backed. I'm going to have 2 darks and 2 lights. I'm going to start poking into these. I won't waste a lot of your time. As soon as I figure out which one we're going to use, then I will show you that one being cut. We'll go all the way from rough to finished jewelry tonight, hopefully. Alright, so here's the 4 stones stopped up. I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be this one right here, but I'm just going to get into them real quick and see what we see what we like. This one's going to be dark. Some of this dark stuff has been amazing. You guys hold tight if you like the turquoise at all. I have some turquoise rough coming in that is absolutely stunning. I found a good supplier. I've got some Ithaca Peak. I've got some Turquoise Mountain. I've got some number 8 coming. Now, Ithaca Peak and Turquoise Mountain are all Kingman area, Kingman mine area. This one will be probably polychrome, blue and green. I'm just trying to open them up enough so I can see which one we want to pursue for this video. The rest of them I can cut later. I don't think it's going to be this one, although this one might be. Look at the green on that. This one's green and blue. I don't think this is the one for the video, but that one will be cool when it's finished. Speaking this back one, you know we got to come in on the sides. Okay. This one will be a medium green. Ooh, no, I really like this one too. It might be a harder choice. It might leave it a little bit nuggety on the top. I like that look. Alright, so that gives us a look into that one. Let's peek at, I'm holding off on the one that I think we're actually going to end up using, because I might be wrong. Some of this stuff I literally don't know till it polishes. Some of it goes from just ho-hum, and then you polish it and it just, bam, pops. Especially this darker stuff like this. This one's a little too dark. I don't know what's going on there, but that doesn't look like turquoise. It looks, there's been a couple of these cut into something black. I don't know what they are. Got some obsidian in them or something. They don't polish that well. So this one might be a cool contrast to that opal. Alright, let's peek into our last one. And this is the one that I thought had the best potential. It's kind of a really nuggety, and it's going to be the lighter blue. Again, this lighter blue is either hit or miss. And this one shows hints of being a hit. And I don't know. couple of these that are like, you can't tell until they're finished if they're going to be worth setting, to my taste. So let's pick, getting good light here for you, but that one's going to be nice, that one's going to be nice, that one might be stunning. I'm just going to have to cut these. I don't think it's going to be that one, but if it actually polishes, that one could be really killer next to a turquoise, or it might be crapola. I'm going to take these a little bit further and I'll come back when I know which one we're going to use. I don't think I've cut 4 stones that all came out this good. Every one of these has its, so there's our opal, every one of these has its merits. My favorite is going to be the one that I thought would be. It did end up being that light color with the matrix in it that I really like, and it's similar in shape and size to the turquoise, or to the opal. So I think that one is hands down our winner. However, look at our other 3 stones. You got a beautiful green with matrix in it. You got a polychrome, meaning it's got multiple colors, with a lot of matrix and even some pitting in that stuff. I like that natural look on some stones and for some settings, but that one is one of the solids that isn't backed, and that one is a stunner in its own right, although probably not right for the setting. And then this other ones that I've cut that are like this have been coarse and haven't taken a polish. This one took a polish like a wet marble, as they say. It just, I'm not sure, it's hard to get it in any light that'll show you. It's just very, very dark. It's not blue, it's not green. I don't know what it is. There's been a few pieces like this in here. Maybe some of you might know, but you can't see it on the camera, but it does have the blues and greens in it. They're just dark, dark, dark. Maybe some of you will see them on your screen, but anyway, 4 really nice stones. The winner is going to be this pair right here. Question is, what are we going to do with them now? All right, I like that better. Mark it right there. Put it right on the mark. Check to see how close we are. This one's a little bit long. Got a little bit of an overlap. Especially on these smaller stones, there's not a lot of room for error. You really... Alright, let's see if we can't get these 3 to solder. I'm going to avoid the solder till the bezel gets warmed up, and I'm going to blow the solder off of there like happens every single time. You carefully place it, and your torch blows it away. There's one. Boy, when it hits, they'll just sometimes just jump right up that. I don't know if you can see that, but that one jumped up the. So I'm making sure I'm going to the back to make sure I draw it through the joint all the way. Each one of those has probably a little bit more solder than it needed, but we got 3 good solders, it looked like. In the pickle, in the pickle, in the pickle. If you wonder what that means, it's just putting it into a mild acid to clean it up. And that's what the pickle pot looks like, right there. So they're out of the pickle. I've slipped each one of them onto their stones. I think each one of them is, probably this is the best one. This one's got a little bit These two have a little bit more slop than I like, but well within workable range. Now what we want to do is get that bezel wire, actually the shape of the stone. Yeah, that's actually pretty good right there. You want it snug enough to hold on to the stone. You don't want any gaps, because when we go to push that bezel down, we want it to be clean and pretty. So we're just gonna get the shapes on these kind of refined a little bit so that I can, all three of these stones are slightly different shapes. I need to be able to recognize which bezel goes where. And the prettier they are when I solder them down, the prettier the bottom is when it solders down, the easier it is to get the top pretty. So that'll work right there. So here's my thought. We're gonna get us some silver plate. We're gonna do some designing here. Kind of already have a thought that I want to do. We might go slightly down, up, down. And I think, I'm not positive of this, but I might want to use some of this square wire to box them in, kind of shadow box them. Almost curve the top, curve the bottom, straight on the sides. Something like that. That's what I'm thinking. Let me fiddle with it, and I'll come back when I show you what I decide to do. All right, sorry, I was plugging away and realized, oh, I put video in a second ago. So I'm going rectangle. I've got this already fluxed. I've got solder on it. I'm going to try and do the frame here first, then solder on the bezels, then solder on the bales, because it'll be a pendant. Try and get the whole thing up to temp. As soon as I start seeing some of that solder flow, okay, solder's flowing there, flowing there, flowing there, flowing there, flowing there. I think we've got a good solder there on it. That was hard solder. This being thin and long, I'm going to let it cool down a little bit more before I put it in the pickle, because I don't want to warp it. This is the first thing I've made that I remember to stamp my initials into it. A little WA right there. Alright. See if we can lock these bezels down. Just about to start flowing. Load, load, load. Trick is to make sure it gets everywhere it needs to go. I think we got it. Starting to get worried. That was getting really close. Alright, all the soldering is done. Now we'll do some cleanup. I'll blacken in everything around those bezels, polish everything, clean it up, and then we'll set the stones. And we'll see how it looks. It's a little linear and angular, but it's just something different to try. Alright, well there it is. I don't know, it's just something different, something to try. I'll wear it tomorrow, see how it wears. Had that one little problem right there on that bezel. It must have melted when I did one of the other solders because it wasn't like that, but by the time I noticed it, it was too late to do much about it. But anyway, I love those 3 stones. All 3 of them are really nice. Fun little project.